In Tokyo this morning, President Biden unveiled a new economic pact meant to shore up global supply chains and counter China's influence in the Pacific. The Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, as it's called, links the U.S. and 12 regional allies into a trade bloc representing 40% of the world's economy. NBC White House correspondent Carol Lee joins us now from Tokyo. Good morning, Carol. Good to see you. So this new pact comes at a turbulent time for the U.S. economy. We don't have to tell people. Soaring inflation, plummeting stocks, all kinds of supply chain issues. We were just talking about baby formula. What would this framework do for the U.S. and our allies?
Well, essentially, Kate, it is an agreement among these countries to have a discussion about negotiations toward binding agreements on trade, on supply chains, on climate change, things like that. So it's really just the first step toward what the Biden administration hopes is a broader sort of cohesive pact among these countries to stand as a check against China. Take a listen to President Biden talk about this today.
This framework is a commitment to working with our close friends and partners in the region on challenges that matter most to ensuring economic competitiveness in the 21st century by improving security and trust in the digital economy, protecting workers, strengthening supply chains, and tackling corruption that robs nations of their ability to serve their citizens.
The president was also asked about whether it was inevitable that the U.S. was going to slip into a recession, Kate, and he said that it was not inevitable and outlined a number of reasons why he said that. And one of them, he said, that could prevent the U.S. from slipping into a recession was if Congress would pass some of his agenda items that have been stalled for several months. There's really no sign of that happening, but the president sounding a little more optimistic than some economists out there have lately.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the president also made headlines, Carol, with a remark he made about U.S. policy toward Taiwan. Take a listen to that.
You didn't want to get involved in the Ukraine conflict militarily for obvious reasons. Are you willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan if it comes to that?
Yes.
You are.
That's the commitment we made.
So, Carol, what is the White House saying now about the U.S. obligation to defend Taiwan? As the president said, if China invaded, what would we do? And how is China responding to those remarks?
Okay, the White House came out very quickly to try to clarify the president's remarks, issuing a statement. I'll read you part of that statement. They said, as the president said, our policy has not changed. He reiterated our one China policy and commitment to peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. He also reiterated our commitment to the Taiwan Relations Act to provide Taiwan with the military means to defend itself. So the White House is trying to make the case that the president was not articulating a change in U.S. policy. This is not the first time they've had to clarify the president's remarks on Taiwan. Just in October, the president said something similar, and they had to do so then. As for the Chinese, they've come out and said that they don't accept this and that they will make their own decisions.
And lastly, I know we're on day 4 of a 5-day trip for the president. Give us what's expected next.
Well, the last day of the president's trip on Tuesday will focus around this meeting of the Quad. That's a group called the U.S., Japan, Australia, and India. And really the main focus here, Kate, is going to be on India. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Indian Prime Minister Modi to get off the sidelines and condemn Russia's actions in Ukraine. They have been very reluctant to do that. The White House is hoping that they can change his mind.
Carol Lee, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.